Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.
Again and again and again. Welcome to season 5 of Oh No, Girl Yes, the podcast. We feel like we have not seen y'all in so long.
It has been a long time. It has.
We took a long hiatus. We usually wrap up around the holidays, around Thanksgiving, and then we relaunch on our anniversary, which is Valentine's Day. So happy anniversary, partner in crime.
Yay! 4 years in this time.
4 years.
In this time.
There you go. And that means 4 years of trauma and disappointment and PTSD and lots of laughs and lessons learned. So we're excited to be starting with season 5. Make sure you keep in mind that you should subscribe to our YouTube channel, because if you are listening to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, you can also see us have this exact same conversation on YouTube. On the OhNoGirl Yes YouTube channel. I will make all apologies in advance for any extemporaneous sounds, meaning my dogs. If you have been listening or watching the podcast, definitely watching the podcast, it's have a little different background. We'll talk about that in a moment. What have you been up to since last we chatted? What's been going on in the world? It's been a few months.
Oh my God. So, working. I'm a working girl, I might not have a typical 9 to 5, but I be out here working.
You do.
So that I have dated pretty consistently 2 guys in our hiatus at the same time.
At the same time, which I want to hear more about that. Where are you right now as far as dating? Are you single? Are you actively dating? Where are you?
I am single and I am actively dating. No longer dating those 2 guys, and we'll talk about that. We'll probably reveal the stories from those relationships, or those, whatever they were. They were just dating situations. We weren't really in relationships. But we'll have more story time with that, as the season progresses. But yes, I am single.
But
so none of those worked out.
Okay. So I would say, I feel like, maybe I should have gone back and reviewed whatever we talked about last. Because, it's like you think you remember based on time, and then you're like, wait, what was going on in the world?
Right.
So I am still retired. I am still happily retired from dating. And that is going well. Some things I have learned in retirement is, do not tell men you have retired from dating, because they see that as a challenge. They see that as you've been waiting for me. And so what I found is, whereas I'm not interested in dating right now, I'm interested in great connections and friendships and great conversations and fun and, peaceful companionship only. Right now, I am not actively engaged in any peaceful companionship. I have recently relocated my entire body.
What? And
my entire body, including my 2 dogs' bodies. And so some of you may know, sometimes I broadcast from Birmingham, Alabama. Sometimes I broadcast from Atlanta, Georgia. And now I am broadcasting from Los Angeles, California. I have relocated out here, I guess. At the time of this recording, I've only been out here for a week and a few days. Yeah. And so what I'm actually really excited about, having new stories, because, in any city, you're going to have a lot of transplants living in a city, like in Atlanta, like Los Angeles. Very few people actually are from the place, where you move to. But I do look forward to kind of engaging more. Not right now. But we realize that the strength of our podcast, and why you guys have been such wonderful, loyal listeners, is because we've always offered very personal scenarios and stories. And once the pandemic hit, that changed the game. And then also we both kind of just got bored with dating. And so we realized,
I don't know if did we get bored with dating, or did we? Yeah, we did. I mean, that's
got bored with dating.
That's what it was. In general, but what we were dealing with in dating, it was like, yeah, this is no fun, right?
And I think that's what I really encourage, whatever we talk about this year, you're going to notice the theme of, if we are not having fun doing it, we're not going to figure out how to do it. And I think that's probably some of the harder lessons we've had to learn. But once we learned it stuck.
If you've been following us from the beginning, we were really trying to figure things out.
We've been trying to learn how to struggle
puzzle pieces into the puzzle. We were really, really we did. I don't know. Maybe y'all don't think we did. I know y'all didn't.
Well, okay, first of all, leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. Do you think we have tried in the 4 seasons y'all have gotten to know us? You've heard stories, you've heard us take responsibility, you've also heard us give our version of events as well. But do you think we've actually tried? I would say yes. I will say from firsthand experience.
I think so too.
That I have had plenty of situations. What's so crazy is it's hard to believe it's 2023. That's the hard part because I retired from dating in 2021. 2022 is such a blur that even now I might say last year, but I'm probably talking about 2021. Like 2022 is like it didn't happen, but I think that's positive. I think that's very positive. In 2021, I can look back. I dated 3 guys throughout 2021, and I learned so much about what I would never do again from dating those 3 men. And so I would like to offer what I learned as we move forward with this new season.
Okay,
things I learned to never do again. Okay, moving forward. Anything I did in 2021, never again. Okay, so that's the short version. Go back and listen to episodes from season 3 and 4, and then I won't do any of those things again. None of those episodes ever would have happened now. But no, seriously. So I would say for the 3 guys I dated in 2021 before I retired, they were all successful, gainfully employed. They were all African American. They were all my age or older. All of them were older than me, even if it's just by a little bit, 3-4 years. And all of them were divorced with children.
Okay.
That's what they all had in common, right? And they dated me. That's the other thing they had in common. What I found that they all did at the same time in their own way is, I'm a busy person. You're a busy person. But when you start engaging with someone to date, you want to make time to date and hang out and do things and all that. And so anytime there was a question of time being spent or energy being spent towards, the connection, man, it was like holy war every time. So I learned that I would never date again based on, oh, you're cute. Oh, you sound good on paper. Oh, let's see if we can like each other. I will probably have to be in love with you for a year or 2 before I would decide to date you. I would have to have we just in each other's lives. You love spending time with me. I love spending time with you. But we ain't going to be, I'm not dating a stranger ever again.
You're looking for the genuine connection, the friendship that builds.
Yes.
To something.
You're going to have to come through the back door on me. Yeah. Because for me, the paradigm shift is, I believe in love at first sight. So I do believe you can meet a total stranger and that be your person. I believe that's 100% possible. We've talked about love is blind. We've talked about different married at first sight and different things where, okay, is this a realistic situation where these 2 people can connect? I believe, yes, that is real. But what I have decided to no longer participate in is knowing there's not a connection and hoping I can figure out how to manage the deficit or compensate for the deficits that I'm missing in those connections I'm on.
Correct.
So that's what I learned. I won't try to make anything work again. but that sounds negative, I think. But I don't mean it in that way. I had things where the guy didn't acknowledge my birthday.
I think you mean that literally. I'm not going to try to make things work. You mean that literally.
I would be trying to figure out how something that wasn't working could. I would be trying to figure out, okay, you know what? I'm so quick to say goodbye. I'm going to let him explain. I'm going to let him apologize. I'm going to give him the space to try again. I'm going to make myself accessible and available for another attempt.
Yeah, even if he does not acknowledge my birthday. And I mean,
in my former life.
I think when we put it like that, y'all get it. Right.
But you know what? But let's talk about specifically acknowledging the birthday, because at that time we had several conversations about me being upset about that. We had conversations with women who were in relationships, who've been married for years. And a lot of women were like, girl, that ain't nothing. My husband don't ever remember my birthday. Girl, a birthday, that ain't nothing. And, at some point you start taking things. It's not even that you had it on your list, but you just start trying to reformulate what you want because you're not getting it. But you're trying to keep what you got, but it ain't what you want.
Yeah.
And so much of dating, I feel, has become just like an endurance sport. Like how long can we be together? We're not going in the same direction. We don't believe in the same things. We don't have the same vibe or, energy. But we've been together 10 years. We still together. We've had our ups and downs.
Yeah.
And I feel like what you have learned, look, after I gave my answer, and I feel
She gonna tell y'all what I've learned now. Okay, go ahead, tell the people. Tell the
I
people.
feel like, well, sometimes when we're talking about where we are, I'm happily retired from dating. And again, that does not mean I'm not interested in a genuine, beautiful, loving connection with a great guy. It just means I'm not gonna meet a stranger and hope for that, and whereas with you, I feel like sometimes you got there too fast. I feel like because of our age difference, and when you're agreeing and understanding and saying, yeah, me too, I feel like, a famous saying is, well, you haven't suffered long enough. You got 10 years.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because I'm not retired. Mm-hmm. I will say that I have not retired. I'm not, I am. I think I still, do. I enjoy a little bit of the sport of dating. It gets old real fast. That's the thing.
But you did have fun this last round.
I did have fun, and like I said, we'll talk about these stories specifically. But I'm willing to say that I was probably the issue in both of them. I know for sure one.
She said probably. She said probably, y'all. I don't know if y'all heard her say probably.
And I think it was because I was having fun. And these guys might not, they don't, they were on another level than me as far as.
Yeah, I would say you were enjoying dating more than one guy at a time. And you're like, hey, this is fun. But y'all were also having fun times, right?
Right.
I think that's what I have been missing for a very long time. I haven't had fun dating in a long time, right? Just kind of say, oh, well, he's calling. Oh, okay, he's going to try to visit. Okay, we're going to spend time. But when was the last time I was like, this dude is crazy. We had so much fun. We never. Right. Yeah. Like it has not happened in a very long time. Right. So you were really enjoying it. And that was really encouraging to see. And I think that's how it should be. I think so many times the concept is you suffer through relationships or you deal with them.
I think I'm uber sensitive to that. So, and I think a cause of that, or that thought process probably has presented some challenges to me to continue in the longevity of relationships. It's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not that I even see the writing on the wall. It's just like, I already know this probably not going to end up this way, or, and so that's a challenge for me. So that is a problem that I'm, aware of, that I want it to be fun. And then when I think it's not going to be fun anymore.
Right. And then how much of that is a lack of maturity on our part, where I think the way we communicate it, which is our truth, I think people think that we have an idealistic view of relationships.
Yeah, I know. And I don't think we do. It sounds like that. Yeah.
It sounds like that when we're like, oh, it was a problem, I stopped. Oh, I wasn't having fun, I stopped. It's not that, guys. I promise you, it's not that. It's that we don't require a lot to have a good time. And so it's like when we're having our own good time in our own single or working spaces, and then we add someone to it, and that time, any of the good times are lessened.
What? Why?
No.
For what? For why?
Oh, I was having so much a better time before I met you. I was like, no, there's no way in the world you're going to be in my life to bring a bad time. And I know in several of my communications with men, when we've started having that little ick of a time, I'm like, listen, I ain't hunting up no bad time, right? So if we having a bad time, I know it ain't me. I just, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, because some people do hunt up drama. Some people thrive off drama. Some people feel like that's how you show love and affection or commitment, is all the crazy. I'm the anti all that. I just discovered a show. This has nothing to do with anything, called Paternity Court. I don't know how many seasons this show.
Paternity Court.
Paternity Court. Have you ever seen this show?
It's probably been around for a long time, Eunice. I've never sat and watched it, but yeah.
Me either, right?
I'm pretty sure it's been around. I've heard of it.
A court version of like what Maury Povage's show had become. And so in watching the show, it's kind of just become my background noise, because I don't know people like this, right? And it's all these different varying stages of questions of paternity. And but the number one thing, obviously, is somebody that lied to somebody about something. That's the basis. And so in watching episode after episode, I'm thinking, by the time this guy is saying his girlfriend or wife cheated on him, so that's why he has questions, the next statement is about how we got back together and I want to be together. You know what I'm saying? Or the woman saying, well, yeah, I stepped out. Or the guy saying, well, I stepped out too, and all this dysfunction. And the whole show, I'm sitting here like, we doing 3 and 4 different paternity tests. How is we having these ongoing conversations Well, we shouldn't have been together, obviously, because we keep sleeping with other people and trying to hurt each other's feelings, So the show in and of itself, I'm just like, ew, what? Who are these people? And that's probably more normal than not, right? Because at some point in this world, you just want to feel something. I think we still are hopeful to feeling something good, but some people just don't even know what good feels like anymore. They just feel something.
That's the thing.
I don't know. That's the thing. What feels good, right? For me, I'm learning new things about myself in moving cross country. What feels good to me is respecting my own boundaries and respecting my own abilities, right? So that feels good. And I know that whoever I will ultimately end up falling for will be someone who respects my boundaries and respects my abilities. You know what I'm saying? It'll be that thing that I see, that they see what I see in me. Whereas I feel like in the past, I've had those same traits and feelings about myself. And then the men have come in to say, let me change her mind about how she feels about herself. Let me make her think something differently. It's not an option now.
It's almost a challenge for them, and men love a challenge.
And that's
they made up in their head.
And it's one of those things where last year when I was telling men, hey, I'm not dating, I'm not interested, boy, they would call every day. They would call 3-4 times a day. They would check in. And I'm like, hey, you really don't need to call me every day. And you really don't need to be trying to make plans to see me. And I remember back when I wanted that, I couldn't get that,
Couldn't pay for it.
What? But even in that, those men that I interacted with even a little bit last year, I had a couple of guys come across my path and they tried to offer me these ideas that I just could not even pretend like it was going to be a thing. And those communications ended very early on, right? Because one guy said to me, trying to get to know you is such a chore. And I said, well, that's easy. Oh, wait, watch this right. What? And so I never spoke to him again. And then another guy would make plans, but then not show up for the plans. But then when he would be ready to communicate, if I didn't respond at a certain amount of time, he'd be like, oh, well, I guess not. And it's like, yeah, don't do that. Yeah. And I wasn't interested in either guy, I was
about to say, I think I ran into him last night, that guy.
Really?
I ran into him. I think I saw him from a distance. I think.
And thus and such, I have to leave.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I had to get out of town because I said, you know what? We ain't going to do. We're not going to meet another man in this area code, this zip code is going to aggravate me. So as we approach season 5, we are excited about a lot of new adventures, a lot of new, paradigm shifts about a lot of different things, but we will still be sharing personal stories. So next episode, we're going to get into her 2 guys she was dating simultaneously that she ain't dating no more. And I will go ahead and say, spoiler alert, nothing really bad happened, right? Ain't even tragic. Let her tell it. I don't know what they would say. But we hope you guys have had a wonderful time since last we met. And hope you had a great Valentine's Day, whatever you did. And thanks for hanging out with us for season 5. So we are ready to get
We are excited. I'm excited. I'm glad to be back on camera talking to you guys. Like, this is going to be fun.
It's been so long.
It has been too long.
Missed you guys. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on the Facebook. And if you would like to engage, interact, suggest comments, suggest guests, suggest yourself as a guest. I believe YouTube is probably the best way to leave comments because we always engage and interact. All right, until next time. Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.